last 3 inches or so, I do want to pull this out to be a little round in order to make the hook to hang it from. The rest of this I just want relatively thin. Okay. This is how bad I am at eyeballing. That's how bad the camera is at focusing. You see that shiny point right about here? That's roughly how much I wanted to be sharp and round. Well, obviously, only made it what? A little over halfway there? 2/3 maybe? Generously? Alright, let's keep at it. That is what I like to see. I don't think... Ooh, screep. I never know exactly how sharp this camera is and how good the picture's going to come out, but this is a heck of a lot better than my last attempt at making a round piece. This actually looks kind of round. I'm excited. Now I guess the question is, do I curve it now? And curve it later. I kind of want to curve it now just to do it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Just in the air coming over here, it cooled off considerably on the very tip. As slim as it is. Oh, that's not a very tight little scroll. Alright. You still see? Oh man, the heat goes out of that so fast. That's about the curve I want on that, but not on the end. Wonder where my needle goes. Whoop. Womp, womp, womp. Ah, that's very sad. into the tub with you. On the other hand, I guess it got that sharp point off. Oh well, so it goes. All right. Really want to focus on this chunk. That area I think might be thin enough. Yep, I sure hope I've put a counter in by this point. I wonder if Yakety Sax is, it's probably not royalty free or public domain at all by now. So, I managed not to record anything I did at the vise. All that on top of filling up my, filling up the card, so it cut off a little bit early on the last one. Anyway. I'd like to say, like a lot of the times when my battery runs out or something fills up, that you didn't miss much. But in reality, I did quite a bit. On the other hand, I've pulled out my handle a sufficient amount, because even with my non-gloved hand, when this end is too hot to touch, I can still touch this end. But yeah, I put this very peculiar little curve in it. Twist, not curve. Because this part was more tapered than the rest, I have a very tight twist up here and a very subtle twist down here. All right. crack there? May have from pounding on it in this awkward fashion. Now, to see if that's a roughly appropriate angle for what I want. You're not going to have much shot of seeing this, but, oh yeah. Well, a little bit sharper would be better, just in case. I'm suspecting I'm never going to actually want to just set this in the oil here, as it's not quite big enough, the ammo tin for it. The amount of oil that will be in here will be relatively minor in comparison to the size of this and how much heat it'll be transferring. But you never know. There we go. Now for what will undoubtedly be the tricky part. Fitting this kajigger in there so I can get a heat up here. Boy, there is no good way to do this, is there? Well, that was definitely not it. Oh my goodness. Catch, dang it. Run out of heat. Ah, you little son of a... Why are you doing that? How are you doing that? Ah, so confused. It's like the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. It's pretty bad when you have to straighten out your curve because somehow you curved it the wrong way. Oh shit, here. Alright, well, it's so weird. Wonder if I tried to do this from above and sort of hammer it down while holding it. That doesn't seem like it'll work. This is a profound mystery indeed. There we go. If for some reason I need quench oil that is, 1500 degrees or whatever, well past the smoke point, I suspect, of my oil, I can do it. I can stick this in here, let all that heat transfer out, and leave it to it. I'm trying to think of how to do something without clamping it with wires. But I don't see a good way to do it, so suffice it is, I suppose. I'll see you there. burning paint off, isn't it? Yeah, well, so be it, I guess. Hopefully that's not too caustic. Ah. How best to do this, I wonder. Probably just like so. Okay. A little bit more. What? Yeah, that's hot. Damn, that was stupid. And the days without accident go back down to 0. As if they were ever above 0. Yeah, this is not the most ideal situation for trying to do this. Really need some like offset tongs for that. Ah, crap. Went too far the other way. Oh, me. Well, that's a lot better than it was. I seem to have loosened it up, so yeah, so it goes. That piece looks like it wants to break off. All right. I'm going to let this cool. Maybe see if I can't go rustle up a nice ball-peen hammer somewhere. And when I bring it back, we'll be testing it out in the oil, seeing how fast I overheat it. Let's see that. In the interim off the camera, I went and got myself a ball-peen hammer and decided I was going to tighten up the fit on this oil warmer here. As you can see, it's not much tighter. However, I did manage to break a chunk off. For whatever reason though, well, due to how it's holding, I know the reason. See it. God, the light in here is awful. I cannot wait to get set up in my new shop, hopefully very soon. I've said it now, I gotta make it happen, right? Yeah, so I broke a chunk off, but it still holds, so I'm still ready to give it a test. So let's go take a peek, show you the oil can, and get this heating up. I'm sure you can hear the forge warming up in the background, so we'll get that going. Let me introduce, for the first time on camera I do believe, except maybe as an Easter egg in the background, it's the ammo can quench tub. I grossly underestimated the amount of oil I would need to fill it up, as you can see, so we're only about halfway there, but it's still deep enough to get the lead of the thermometer, the probe of the thermometer in it. As you can see, we are not incredibly warm. I'm sure it's whatever the ambient temperature is around here, 60 some odd, whatever. But yeah, I'm aiming for the little red mark. We'll see the little red mark, the little red pointer in the bottom left corner there. We'll see how long it takes to get there. And if I get that thing warmed up, how fast I go blazing past it. So I've heated it up slightly. It's not even glowing, but let's see here what happens. Should flare up? Nope. All right, good. Kind of stirring it around there to mix it up. Boy, as light as it is, or as cool comparatively as it is, that might not be enough. I'm not seeing that needle wiggle at all. It's been in there about 30 seconds. Yeah, and nothing exciting happened in there. Yeah, I can't even see the needle moving. Alright, well, time to make a minor oil fire in my forge. Isn't that going to be lovely? Okay, this time I gave her 30 seconds in the forge. Oh, she's a-rising. Almost hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit there. On the other hand, it doesn't seem to want to go up much more than that. It's been in there almost a minute now. I do like this as being a rather slow thing. So, on the other hand, that's not quite where I want it yet. Though it is approaching that kind of 40 to 50 C that some people say you're supposed to have. I kind of heard it as around 130. I do know that different types of metal take different heats. I have a book on the metallurgy of that, but I haven't fully read it yet, so I'm not there. So I got distracted with another side project I'm working on, and that spent about a minute and a half in the forge. I'm 10, rapidly approaching 130 Fahrenheit, which was the target I was reading for, come on brain, basic, what is that, 4140 roughly spring steel. Alright, now we've overshot it. So, here's the important thing. We are up to 140-ish. So if I pull this out and turn the timer on, how long before that's back down to where we want it? I have a funny feeling this is going to take a while, even sitting on the ground here, as opposed to up on, I don't know, a bench or a work table that I haven't built for it yet. Possibly the cart that I have my forge on now, once I build a proper forge stand. That's a nice metal thing, so if some flaming oil spills over, it's not likely to set the whole place on fire. So, yeah, we're going to be here a while. I will catch you later. So it has been about 8 minutes now. We are sitting about 135, which isn't too bad at all. Now, I guess the next question will be, how long before it goes from, I don't know, 135 or so down to, I don't know, 120-ish, maybe? We'll see. That's the real important one. That's kind of the how long do I have my work time once I get it up for. Getting the timing on all of this heat treating might be a bit tricky for me, knowing how well I do timing, say, dinner and the like, getting everything to come out of the oven at the same time. There's always something lagging behind. Another 9 minutes, well, 8 3/4, and we are roughly down to 120. We're still a little bit above it, but it seems to lose about 15 degrees or so in 8 minutes. Of course, this is with half the oil that I'm going to want in there. With the full amount of oil, it'll take longer to heat up, of course, but then it should also take longer to cool off. All in all, I'm pretty pleased. I think my oil warmer works. I think when it's all said and done and being put into use for real, that it will be a very nice tool. Well, wasn't that the adventure? I suppose in the end of it all, though, I did come out with a usable tool. More complicated than it needs to be. More, well, larger, I'd say grandiose, but that's more complicated than it needs to be. Just keep it simple here. Do I really need something this elaborate? No, probably not. From what I've seen, all you really need to do is like heat up a piece of metal until it's pretty warm and just swirl it around in your oil, and I'll get it up temp pretty well. But all in all, I feel pretty good about that. Got to experiment a little bit. Got to play around with twisting, play around with some more hooks and turns and scrolling work there. So, got to do some things. Got to see that I needed a new tool for peening. Got a new tool, got it dressed and ready to go. While I was at it, I picked up another another hammer for my handle. Yeah, another handle for my hammer. So getting that fit and set up, I think that will be a big game changer for being able to control my blows a little bit better. At least I hope so. Knock on wood, you know. I have a bunch of off-camera things that I should be getting to. Some changes, some work that I'm going to do for the shop here. So when next we see each other, it should be a very exciting time. Till then, please like if you like, don't if you didn't. Leave a comment if you had any thoughts or anything you'd like to tell me. Let me know. I don't know, what's your favorite color, you know? Well, sure, get to know each other. Starting to build a bit of a community here, so it's kind of nice. Until then, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.